there's something to be said about like tone in movies, and like that's another thing. Like with a movie that gives itself away immediately, is that when you're watching a movie like this, like when the end of the world is inevitable, and everybody is so kind of flippant about it, it's because they don't want their audience to think. They just want them to shovel popcorn in their fucking face hole and go, "That's another dinosaur." I was so worried because I ain't seen a dinosaur for 4 minutes. Pass me the milk duds. You know.
I think that's with most popcorn movies. Like, isn't you've seen all the Fast and Furious movies? Aren't they in essence the same damn thing?
They're inexcusable garbage. You know,
I haven't seen a car chase in 5 seconds. Yeah. Where's all the car chase? There's no actual cars there now. Yeah. It's all CGI. Congratulations, you're a moron.
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft.
What in the absolute blue the raptor fuck did I just watch?
Oh, man. I love the fact that you had to get that all out because I just asked you to record a PG version of an episode for my live stream. So now it's like, I have built that up for 5 minutes, and now I got to just unleash Brian, all the explicit nature.
I'm troubled. They Rise of Skywalker'd it. And
Rise of Skywalker is now a what would that be? A noun, a verb, adverb?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, nothing could ever be worse than Attack of the Clones, and then J.J. Abrams took a poop in my mouth. But then Colin Trevor took an even bigger dump in my mouth. And that was this movie. But I will say, and I know I'm jumping the gun, we haven't even introduced this episode or anything, but at least I laughed my ass off, which is more than I can kind of say from Rise of Skywalker, which I was just had my head in shame.
I was seething in Rise of Skywalker. There's a whole episode in which
you can check that out in the archives.
I think that might have been my most angry episode. Listeners, you tell me, do you think that our episode on Rise of Skywalker was the most angry? Let us know down in the comments and subscribe and follow all the bullshit. But anyway, we're on episode 241. And what movie, John, has caused us to feel this way this week?
Jurassic Dung 3, the Rise of T-Rex, or Dominion? Dominion. Yeah.
Yeah,
I apologize, everybody. I came in hot. I just like
you
I have
really
a lot of
did come in
feelings.
hot. You got a lot of feelings on this one. I think more than me, because the truth of the matter is that I didn't give two fucks about this movie. I didn't give two fucks about the last movie. I just didn't care. So like going into this, and you're like, I was in California on vacation when you texted me and said, "Dude, this movie fucking is terrible. I'm going to enjoy tearing it apart." And I'm just like, I'm at a wedding right now, so I kind of can't get into it with you. But I mean, I saw it and I just was bored. I thought it was extremely convoluted, and I just kept saying to myself, I think this is what happens when a movie jumps the shark and thinks that, hey, we can just keep going after we've jumped the shark. This is way past the shark jumping.
The problem with this movie is that there is so much happening, but yet nothing happens at the same time.
Yeah.
It's shocking how this movie is a series of events. There's no real plot. There's just a series of things that happen that could have all been resolved in other ways. Mm-hmm. And the whole Star-Lord and Ron Howard's daughter, I don't know, they're Claire and Davy.
Claire and Owen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Chris Pratt in between Amazon Prime direct-to-video movies.
Yeah.
I got nothing against that, man. He's done some good work on Amazon Prime, but just saying, they're starting to look repetitive.
But if it wasn't their quote unquote like clone daughter that got kidnapped, they're completely superfluous to the plot.
Oh, well, I couldn't tell if they were superfluous to the plot or if our guest stars, the original trio,
I know them from the other movie.
were superfluous to the plot. I kept getting flashbacks to like, what was it? Days of Future Past, when the director of the movie, creepy Bryan Singer, said that he needed to find something for Magneto and Xavier to do. So they dreamed up this bizarro rogue scene that eventually got cut, but it was because, well, we got to have something for them to do. And honestly, when I was watching this and I see Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Goldblum, the Bloom, in a mission, I'm just like, why am I getting the vibe that like they had nothing for them to do? They couldn't put them into too crazy of an action scene because they might die. And they're just like, well, we got them. We need to have them do something. So let's put them on this bizarro, biosyn mission crap.
And let's not forget, they're all 97 years old.
Hey, Sam Neill is looking really good.
No, they actually are all looking pretty good.
They're all looking good. I got to be honest with you. I mean, Jeff Goldblum is at peak Goldblum sexuality here. Like, the man is a fine wine. I think everyone, I am a very hetero man, but I got to say, the man's a fine wine.
But, obviously we can go into some of the details of it, but essentially Jeff Goldblum
go into the details.
But he invites his like old buddies, Grant and Sadler, to this island where it's like the safe haven for dinosaurs and research and all that. And he's like, here, take my clearance wristband. They'll get you into this room that will be able to get you proof. To which I immediately said, why doesn't Malcolm just do that himself?
Or here's my take on that. So does no one think that the computers in this Elon Musk, discount Amazon supervillain hideout with dinosaurs, because let's be honest here, that's what it is. Do they think the computers wouldn't like track Malcolm's key card and see that his key card went into a restricted area? Like,
but is it even restricted for Malcolm? Like, why couldn't he just do it himself?
Because he doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
Or he's like, he could just be like,
they're his friends, but they're his frenemies. That's what it is. They're his frenemies.
They're like, what you doing in here,
Ellie
Malcolm?
Sattler was the woman he wanted to steal from Alan Grant, and well, it didn't work out that way. So he's just like, I'm gonna fuck them over either way. So yeah, that's what it was. But I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, why would he give his key card to these people? The key card's in a restricted area. The computers are going to see that his key card was access the doors. So wouldn't he like out himself right there? Why is he trying to hush in front of the cameras? Because, this whole place is a George Orwell nightmare. That I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it is the best
I
way.
don't get it.
That should be the tagline for this movie.
Jurassic
World Dominion.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Yeah.
It's like that classic Simpsons episode, the I don't get it kid.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie starts off where we left off with the last one,
which honestly, I hated the last one too. I barely remember. I barely remember the last one, other than it's just clones now are a thing.
Yeah, well, we didn't do an episode on it, so I just had to go live on my phone on our YouTube our Facebook group and do it. But then, unfortunately, I think most of the stuff I said didn't have any weight because I put it in a camera mode, like a filmmaking mode, which apparently made a live video sideways, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I went off on a rant for, I think, 35 minutes with a sideways shot. But anyway, so as long as you tilted your head, maybe you agree with me. But Yeah, this one, wow. But yeah, at the end of the second one, this little girl who was a clone, which then they changed that kind of in this one. Release, sort of, kind of.
No, well, like Dolly the sheep technically was made the same way.
Yeah, but she
So,
was a
like,
she.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing.
But anyway, she lets out like 9 dinosaurs, which, outside, which they should easily be able to wrangle or murder or recapture or anything. But no, apparently across the globe, millions upon millions of dinosaurs now exist with man and other animals in the species like ecosystem, because apparently they just didn't get that under control.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you had asked me before 2020 whether our governments could handle something as insane as dinosaurs all over the place, I would have said, sure, yeah, they could do that. That seems like a fairly reasonable thing. But then I saw what governments' reaction to, a pandemic could do. And,
but dinosaurs are not an airborne virus.
Well,
though.
I mean, you know what? Someone's going to say that God put those dinosaurs on there, and it would be a shame for us to try to kill them.
And weren't all these dinosaurs, like women? Isn't that how they're made?
Yeah, but sometimes they can swap genders and
On
procreate.
within certain amphibian DNA,
Yes.
but that's not every species. And it's
Wasn't that literally the whole problem with the first Jurassic Park? Like, that was the whole premise of it.
Yeah.
Is that, oh my God, they're procreating. Yeah.
But yeah, but it was like when she let the animals out in the second one, it was like one triceratops. So did it like get a penis and fuck itself and then impregnate itself?
Might have. You don't know.
Because that was the big thing in this movie, is that Blue the raptor, available in toy stores everywhere, learned how to
I got a really
reproduce.
big rant about the raptors in this, not just this movie, but the whole fucking series. I got a really big issue with the raptors.
Please do.
Okay, I don't want to direct us too far off the tangent, but you mentioned Blue the fucking raptor. Okay, so here's the thing. I remember being, when this movie came out, 93. So I was probably around, 7, 8?
7 or 8.
7 or 8. I remember this movie came out, and I saw it in theaters, and it fucking terrified me. The raptors alone were fucking terrifying. Now, flash forward, okay? Flash forward to now, and the raptors, all of them, are cuddly, laughable creatures. And I have a real big problem with that. Mm-hmm. Do you have a problem with that, John? Because I really do. We were literally, I remember Jurassic Park. That was the first time that you're literally just like, shit, what the fuck is a raptor? And why is it more terrifying than a fucking T-Rex?
Yeah, because a T-Rex is just kind of like a lumbering kind of idiot, almost like Godzilla, but like the Velociraptors were like a combination of like if a vampire and a zombie were combined,
and they were fast.
Yeah,
and like they're terrifying. But what do we have now? Soft, cuddly Blue and Blue's offspring. Oh, we got to bring the offspring back to Blue. I made a promise. It's a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah. And it's not a get a jail
it just wants to eat you. Like,
yeah.
I don't think Owen Grady gets it. It could eat them because it's hungry.
Yeah. And it's not a get out of jail free card when Goldblum's like, you made an agreement to a dinosaur. It's like, okay, you can't just have Goldblum point out all of your problems with screenwriting and think you get away with it.
Well, that is lazy.
Yeah.
Lazy screenwriting right there.
But
yeah, I just had a real fucking problem with the fact. And again, it's more in this particular movie than I think the other ones. But the fact that the Velociraptors have been turned into mascots that are cuddly, soft, and the good guys, I got a real problem with it.
Oh yeah, because there is a scene where they kidnap Navy and Business's daughter.
Yeah,
and also Blue's kid and Blue kind of like comes up to Chris Pratt and is like in Raptor speak, it's like, bitch, they took my kid. Go get my kid, asshole. And he's kind of like, yeah, I got you. I got your back. And Blue's like, sweet. Thanks, Holmes. And then walks off.
Yeah.
It's a fucking velociraptor.
I'm sorry. It would if I'm imagining that a real velociraptor, if any human stole their kid, would probably go out and like rip apart anyone that come in its path.
Yeah.
Like Owen Grady would be dead.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of?
Huh.
Is when they turned like the Ghostbusters cartoon series, when they turned like Slimer into like a mascot.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not that like Slimer was in any way intimidating in the first movie.
I never had a problem with that. I had to have my Ecto Cooler, and I love the fact that Slimer was on the cover. It was on the box.
But I'm just surprised that they haven't like come out with a Jurassic World like animated series.
Give
where
it time,
it's like,
man.
Yeah, and Blue's kind of like a lovable Slimer character.
Hey, no, that's not it at all. It would be like a cross between Transformers and Jurassic World, and Blue would be part of like a team of velociraptors that can talk to each other with special voice boxes that makes them talk in British, because obviously it has to be British.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on, that's intelligent.
British people smart.
British people smart. America dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just know for me that was a big point of contention. But I mean, aside from what we were talking about before, we're talking about the cloners, right? Clone bullshit in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you thought that you were going to get more of an explanation in this movie, sorry, not really going to happen. I got that like the daughter was growing up and like she wants to find out more about her past, and there's a whole scene where you get I thought the daughter died like way young in the last movie, and like somehow they cloned her to that age. But no, you find out that she lived a long life, and that the previous version of this girl who grew up was inadvertently responsible for creating like Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, and that she kind of birthed herself.
Yeah, that's a sentence.
Science.
You just said. Yeah. Yeah,
Science.
and she's basically 11 from Stranger Things.
She is 11 from Stranger Things, but no powers though.
Yeah. And so yeah, this movie, to just kind of ease this whole thing, because like obviously if we try to break down the
we're 16 minutes in, John, and I think our audience is just like, well, it's another one of these movies.
Yeah, if we try to break the quote-unquote plot, we'll be here for 9 hours, because there is none, but yet so many stupid things happen. Is that we have dueling stories that are both pointless. We have, Chris Pratt and Ron Howard's daughter trying to get their kid back. And
I love the fact you're just like, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard is her name.
I can't remember. Claire.
Her name's Claire.
Owen?
Claire and Owen.
Owen, okay, yeah. Yeah, they're trying to get
will
their
they,
kid back.
won't they couple of Jurassic World.
And I mean there's nothing that progresses in their story except that they just constantly run into problems trying to get their daughter back in action sequences. And then we have all of our fan favorite service, of Alan Grant and Malcolm and Ellie Sadler. See how I remembered their names, because they're like real characters. Them. Yeah, and they all have to try to figure out what's going on with these crops, because this company that Biosyn, is like engineering a way that all these like dinosaur creatures are destroying every crops that aren't Biosyn protected.
Well, that's the thing, is that what this is a bad guy McBad guy company run by bad guy McBad guy,
the head of Google, essentially.
Head of Google, yes, head of Google, Elon Musk, Bezos, you name it. Okay, that's in essence who it is. But what he's doing is the classic bad guy analogy. You come out as the humanitarian. Biosyn's a sanctuary for dinosaurs. So dinosaurs, when they're captured in the wild, meaning like your back alley by your Pizza Hut, they take them and they put them in Biosyn's dinosaur sanctuary. However, Biosyn is really evil.
What?
And on top of, weaponizing the dinosaurs, because that's what they do. Why? That's literally what the whole thing has been, is weaponizing dinosaurs. You go all the way back to Jurassic Park. That's what it was. And also biologically engineering locusts, super locusts,
Dino locusts.
that will eat all the crops except for Biosyn's patent pending crops. That's the whole deal. That's the deal here. Because what does bad guy McBad guy need? More money.
And how does Biosyn think they're going to get away with this when every scientist in the world can go, hey, I think I figured something out. All the crops in the world have been eaten except Biosyn ones. Perhaps we should investigate this immediately.
Yeah, and I love the fact that everyone is just laissez-faire about the fact that the entire food supply is going to be depleted. Like, there's literally a scene where, like, some guy who works at Biosyn is just like, well, this is the last Twinkie that's going to ever exist. Because, it's a fat guy, because it has to be a fat guy. And this is the last Twinkie that's ever going to exist. I guess all the food's going to be fucked and gone. I guess we're ready to die. It's like, dude, I got news for you. The crops are not the problem there. It's the carbs.
Yeah. Well,
I should know. I'm a fat man, too.
There's something to be said about, like, tone in movies. And, like, that's another thing, like, with a movie that gives itself away immediately, is that when you're watching a movie like this, like, when the end of the world is inevitable and everybody is so kind of flippant about it, it's because they don't want their audience to think. They just want them to shovel popcorn in their fucking face hole and go, that's another dinosaur. I was so worried because I ain't seen a dinosaur for 4 minutes. Pass me the milk duds.
I think that's with most popcorn movies. Like, you've seen all the Fast and Furious movies? Aren't they in essence the same damn thing?
They're inexcusable garbage.
I haven't seen a car chase in 5 seconds. Yeah. Where's all the car chase? There's no actual cars there now. Yeah. It's all CGI. Congratulations, you're a moron.
Yeah. It's kind of like watching the difference between, like, and Lindsay Ellis on YouTube presented this, but she also did it in a breakdown between pre and post 9/11, a breakdown of War of the Worlds versus Independence Day. And in a pre 9/11 world, Independence Day was like, everything's like, gee shucks, like, still time for jokes and, like, levity, and Will Smith saying, that's what I call close encounter, like when the world's about to explode. But then you see Spielberg's War of the Worlds, and it's like, oh my god, everyone's dying. This is the most fucking horrible thing ever.
On top of that, I remember seeing War of the Worlds in theaters, and they were just like, is it terrorists? Is it 9/11? Yeah. It's like, we're still that close to it. That's still bad. But one thing I did want to mention is bad guy McBad guy is actually a bad guy we've seen before. Not played by what? Sexual predator.
Yeah, the original Dotson is a sex pest.
Yeah.
Look it up, folks. Look it up. Yeah, no, Lewis Dodson. Dodson, we got Dodson here. Is the bad guy in this. Who again, he kind of comes off as the Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, bad guy that we're used to in our real reality, And that's that shit storytelling where it's like everything has to be connected to something that you've already seen. It reminds me of that stupid fucking Solo movie where they felt that in a prequel for Han Solo, we had to tell you every single thing that you know about Han Solo, how it came to be.
Yeah.
Like, how did he get the dice? How did he meet Chewie? When did he went to work for Jabba? When did he meet Lando? How did he find the Falcon? Why does he call him Chewie instead of Chewbacca? We're all fucking idiots. Like, why couldn't it have just been a new person, not the random guy who I don't think was supposed to be a CEO? I think he was just supposed to be a drop guy for the other corporation. It was an engine, or I think that was their name.
Yeah.
He was just a drop guy.
He was just a drop guy.
Yeah, but no, it's Dotson. Remember from the movie. Remember how much you liked Dotson because the guy said it's
He
Dotson.
was in there
here?
for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and
Literally, that's it.
And that's when you know you're standing on the shoulders of geniuses. Not to even take a line from this movie, is that like we shouldn't remember who Dotson is, but it's because Jurassic Park is so fucking memorable that a line like Dotson, we got Dotson here is. Everyone remembers that.
Well, let's be honest here. The reason why everyone remembers that is because of the shaving cream.
Yeah.
That's it. They might not even know who the person is, but they remember that scene with the shaving cream. And so again, milking everything that you've got, almost like just harvesting things. Like this Hollywood in general, and this, I'm sorry, folks, this is going to be a Hollywood rant right now. Hollywood in general reminds me of the movie Pacific Rim. Did you ever see Pacific Rim, John?
Yeah, many moons ago.
Okay, so there's a scene in Pacific Rim where Ron Perlman's character is talking with Charlie Day, and they're going through like how they harvest kaiju DNA and kaiju organs and sell it on the black market. Well, if you take that analogy, in essence, Jurassic Park is a kaiju. Okay? Came across in 1993, made a landmark in the hearts and minds of billions. Okay? And it's something that we're still talking about today. But all you've got now are studios, kind of like Ron Perlman, just harvesting shit over and over again until you cut right to the fucking bone and you got nothing left but marrow. And that's what this movie ultimately is. It's the marrow. It's whatever's left behind. The entrails that gets turned into sausage. That's what this movie is. A bunch of fucking sausage. Maybe you might have had a moment where you found a little shred of filet mignon. That was maybe Jurassic World. I didn't mind Jurassic World. I thought it was okay. But now we're down to the sausage, people. That's what this is. Member sausage.
Yeah, I would have, with Jurassic World, I would have given it probably a 4.5 out of 10. I think I gave the second one.
I didn't hate it.
2 out of 10.
All right.
This one, I think I gave a 1 out of 10.
The second one, I thought I was already off the train. Like I was off the Jurassic anything train by the second one. I really didn't even care for like the second and third Jurassic Parks.
Oh yeah, they're not. But the weird thing is that all the Jurassic World movies make the Lost World look like Citizen fucking Caney. You know. Yeah.
All I got from that was that they just decided, okay, well, we don't got Sam Neill and Ellie Sattler anymore, so let's just go ahead and give old Goldblum the limelight. Yeah. And he did fine.
The third most important or third most likable character who is best in small doses, let's make him the lead of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. But, it's paying off dividends for him now. But I guess for me, like, this whole movie is just the last entrails of something that was really great. I mean, I think I distinctively remember seeing the first teaser trailer for Jurassic Park. That moment where they're in the cave and he pulls out the little ember thing and you see the little fucking mosquito in there. I remember that. I think I was seeing Hook, and that was one of the trailers that was in there. I remember that, and to see it turn to this shit is just really depressing.
Yeah. You either, like, protect your rights or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Well, I mean, I think they've said, like, they're done making these. Like, this is the last one. Which, yeah. Sure. Okay.
We're going to get, like, a prequel movie of like the first time John Hammond cloned a dinosaur. But
I imagine we're gonna get a Hammond series.
Oh yeah, on Disney Plus or something.
Disney Plus, which I'll watch it.
Wait, do they own this? Does Disney own Jurassic World?
No.
Who fucking owns this? Universal does, right?
This is Universal. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Universal's gonna get a streaming service, and there's gonna be like a John Hammond, streaming service where. You know what? They're just going to get Chris Pratt to play John Hammond. We're all going to go, but wait, isn't he a character? And the movie franchise is going to be like, fuck you, watch it, asshole.
You will like it.
Yeah. But I don't understand. He's already a character in the universe. Just watch it, monkey. You know?
Okay. Getting back to this shitstorm movie. Before we're predicting the other shitstorms of films and projects that come around. What were some of the parts that you hated the most about this? I talked about the Raptors. What was something that you really hated in this movie? Because as I said, we're not getting into the plot. It's too much.
My thing was Owen, who is basically John McClane on steroids. There were two examples of when it looked like Roadrunner had sex with Liberace, went under this frozen lake and crashed up and was trying to kill Owen and Plane Lady. And,
yes, we forgot about Plane Lady.
Well, I mean, we're not really going into the plot, but yeah, apparently Plane Lady was in Calcutta or something. Was like, I can't help you, but she's like, I got a kid, and she went, fuck, and then helped him. She's like, kids? I didn't know you had a kid. Now I'll risk my life and my livelihood for you.
Yeah, no one wants to ask how many people she's killed or atrocities she's been privy to. Yeah. That's all forgiven because you saved one clone kid.
Yeah. But he falls under deep frozen water for a long period of time and gets out and beats a dinosaur. And, then I think if I remember correctly, lights a cigar, looks at the camera, and says some kind of quippy one-liner. And I'm like, wait, wouldn't he die of hypothermia?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because he doesn't even change out of the clothes or find a warm place like a fire to sit at naked while his clothes dry. No, he just is still in these frozen clothes. He's dead. He fucking dead. And the scene, Brian, the scene that comes before this, he's like, oh no, the plane is crashing. Here, wife, go save your daughter.
Oh my God, I love this scene.
Even though that,
scene.
I'm probably the best person alive to save her. You're her mom, and I need to look heroic and chivalrous. So I'm going to parachute you out of here, and then Plane Lady and I are going to die in this plane crash. And they went, "Oh, what's the plan? Oh, the plane's crashing." And he went, "We die." And then the plane crashes, and they just go "Oh, I got a minor headache."
No, dude, they didn't even have a minor headache. They literally got out like it was nothing.
Yeah, they crashed the plane into ice, and they were just no blood, no bruises, just well, that sucked. And honestly, it would have been better if Claire just stayed on the plane. Because she just ended up in more dinosaur danger, because that's all this movie is. It's just one...
It seriously is dinosaur danger.
Yeah, one scenery thing, one dinosaur problem to a next without any actual
what's going to happen? Are you going to chase by raptors that are not under your control? Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
That are Whoa.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs that, in essence... And my favorite was the raptors scene because you could tell that Colin Trevorrow was well, I know I've basically neutered my raptors in this whole series, so I got to make them extra scary. So what if we basically take a laser pointer for a kitten and use that as the thing that makes the raptors go crazy and chase after them?
Yeah, and they're the ultimate killing machines unless it's some of the main characters.
Well, they're the ultimate killing machines.
Then they're the most clumsy things you've ever seen. It's like some old French comedy from the 60s, Sacre bleu, I tripped in the fountain hall.
Well, my whole thing is this, is okay, I have a laser pointer for my cat, and honestly, if they're going by those laws, because that's what they're doing, they're saying, I have a laser pointer, if I point at you, that's the target. Well, what happens if you move away from the laser pointer and you're no longer on the target? Shouldn't the raptors stop?
I believe from the last movie, what they're suggesting is that once the raptor sees the laser pointer on the human, then they're locked in by the scent of the human.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's just bullshit.
Yes, you're right, Brian. This whole movie is bullshit.
Fucking shit. That's bullshit. That's you saw it, so suddenly you got the smell. What? What? No. I call bullshit on that. That's stupid. Because obviously, what's to stop me from you would have to have that target painted for them to know where the target is. So that's bullshit. Bullshit makes me angry.
Yeah.
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 But no, it really was dinosaur scene after dinosaur scene.
And that was the thing
yeah.
about the first movie. What did they say? Like, and I don't have the exact numbers, but like the dinosaurs are in the first Jurassic Park movie for like 12 minutes or something like that, because you have a master filmmaker who introduced characters that had story arcs and payoffs that you cared about and wanted to see survive, and a whole story that was interesting, that you didn't need dinosaur scene after dinosaur scene.
That's not the only reason why, man. The primary reason why the dinosaurs are not in it as much as they would be is because Steven Spielberg had limitations. They literally were inventing CGI as they were making this movie.
It's not exactly the same thing, but it's kind of like the Jaws thing. Like
it totally is. They had practical stuff, and that's what they were planning on doing, was practical stuff with a mixture of practical and Phil Tippett's puppetry. But they wanted to test what James Cameron did with Terminator 2, so they implemented that with Jurassic Park. And they literally were inventing the software as they were making the movie. So, like, it wasn't even a matter of like, oh, well, the reason why there's no dinosaurs is because they're, the movie didn't need it. It was a matter of he couldn't put them in.
But good that they couldn't. Yeah.
But that's the thing, and I think it all comes back down to filmmaker limitations. It's like, yes, you have every paint at your disposal, but do you really need to put every paint on the canvas?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because in that first Jurassic Park film, like, we get introduced to the velociraptors. We don't see them, but he was like, oh, but they've been clocked.
We hear them.
Speed.
We hear them. We see what they do, and that is like that scene where the shoota scene. That scene alone, you don't see a fucking dinosaur in the whole scene. You see what the dinosaur's doing. You hear what the dinosaur's doing, and that is terror.
And not just that scene, but like where they drop the cow in, and he's like, he has the younger one, or she has the younger one, systematically checking the fences for weaknesses. Like, these ones they remember, like, they're building up that these are hyper intelligent killing machines.
Yeah.
So that, like, but you don't see them, but when they like actually come to attack the kids in the kitchen, it's like, you've earned this.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, there's been 35 velociraptor scenes before this where it means nothing.
Well, the thing, too, is you see how intelligent they are, and that's what makes them even scarier. It's not just that they are extremely vicious. It's how smart they are, that they can outsmart humans. and that's the really scary part about it. But, yeah, you're right. Like, we only see, 3 raptors in, I think, the first one? I think you see 3.
Yeah, because I think there are 3. I think it's like the mama and her, like, there's 2 babies. I mean, other clones that I'm sure she raised.
Yeah, you only see 3 raptors, and those 3 raptors have more of an impact than the gaggle of CGI goon blue knockoffs that you have in this one.
I mean, this movie has 900 problems, but another one is that they think that, like, they've shown us. Like, oh, we've seen Triceratops, we've seen T-Rex, we've seen Velociraptors. Like, go through an encyclopedia of dinosaurs and pick out ones that no one's ever seen before, and we're gonna throw them into the movie, no matter how goofy ass they look, because, well, we need new dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, it was really bad, really bad. Now, of course, we talked about how there are in essence 2 storylines. You have this whole conspiracy theory, biosin's bad, we got to expose them, get a sample of the dino locust DNA. Again, makes no sense why you're doing this. That's what our old favorites are doing, and our new favorites are trying to rescue a clone girl who's been their adopted daughter. Yeah, someone had to write this down. But when they come together at the end, it's there's no payoff to it.
No, it's just that they came together because the plot needed it, and none of them like truly interact in a way that seems natural or organic or any kind of payoff. It's just all of our characters are here now, and look how big there's another big dinosaur. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
like
Or it's now become a matter of like, well, you have to go and turn off the server.
yeah,
Ladies.
you have a random task, and you have a random task.
Yes.
And we have a random task because this movie apparently needs to be like 2.5 fucking hours long.
Yeah, this movie was so damn long. I was just like, are you serious? We really going this long?
It was one of those things too that I'm sure a part of the length was that they thought, well, it's the last of this trilogy, so we have to make it as epic as possible. We got to Ben-Hur this shit. It's like, no, you didn't. Brevity is the soul of wit, assholes.
Well, first of all, you don't Ben-Hur something unless you're fucking Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to everyone who tries to make movies as long as fuck. There are very few movies that are truly worth being that long. The Batman was probably the only one I've seen as recently that warranted its length.
Still could have cut 20 minutes out of it.
You think they could have? I don't think they could have. I think it was perfectly fine. But
15.
We'll agree to disagree. But I just know for me, like by the time that the old crew meets up with the new crew, like there's no interaction beyond just, okay, break and go do your separate tasks. And I got to wonder if it's just like at that point they're like, well, we don't have enough time with each person, so like let's just get them doing whatever they're doing, and Laura Dern can go with Bryce Dallas Howard, and Sam Neill can go with Chris Pratt, and Jeff Goldblum could sit back and be control center. It's like you're telling me you couldn't have, I don't know, 5 minutes of a scene where they just talk?
Yeah, there's no payoff to the old school and the new school coming in.
Like, I think it would be really interesting. I mean, one, I don't give a shit, but I'm like, it would be really interesting if you had, Alan Grant actually talking with Owen Grady about, like, I don't know, Jurassic Park. You know what I really would have loved in this particular movie? And I was kind of waiting for it, and they never addressed it.
What's that?
I would have loved it if Owen Grady had a conversation with Alan Grant and said, you know what? I was that fucking kid that you terrified with a raptor claw in 1993.
Oh, I could actually see it now. Where, like, Grant's standing there in his like hat and stuff, and he's like walking to a corner, and behind him, blurred out, you hear giant turkey, and like he looks up and it rack focuses over to Chris Pratt. It's like, yeah, you remember me, Dr. Grant?
Yeah, instead we get, oh, you're Owen Grady. You work with raptors. Okay. How do you know him? Like,
yeah, they don't. They don't know each other.
They don't.
They both read the script.
They read the script, and it was terrible. And it was a wasted opportunity, in my opinion. Like, they spent all this time trying to bring these two generations together, and it's an entirely wasted opportunity. Now, the end of this, you see bad guy McBad guy, Dodson, get his comeuppance, and what do you know? How does he go, John?
No. Oh, my God. So I was so terrified when you were saying this. I'm trying to fucking remember... Brian, how the fuck does he die? I can't even fucking remember.
You don't? Oh, I can tell you. Because you're literally going to be just like, fuck me, right? So he's in the Hyperloop because, again, he's Elon Musk.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because, it's the future. Got to have Hyperloops. And he's trying to escape with his dino DNA stuff,
And he gets out of it all like pissed off because it broke down, right?
Well, he tries to like destroy the evidence of the locust by lighting them on fire.
Yeah.
And sure enough, lighting them on fire causes, I don't know, all the dinosaurs to like light on fire, and his sanctuary to light on fire because that's what happens with fire. Scientist,
Dumbass.
right?
Yeah.
Dumbass. Yeah. So he's deciding that he's going to like sneak away with his dino DNA and restart it, because he's really good at that. So he gets in his Hyperloop, and I believe the Hyperloop shuts down because of what Ellie Sattler and Claire are doing with like the power and all that shit. So like it shuts the Hyperloop down, and Dodson's like, all right, fine, I'm going to get out of the Hyperloop. And sure enough, who shows up but those crazy old spitting dinosaurs?
Oh, yeah.
The ones that took care of Dennis Nedry in the first movie. They show up to finish off Dodson.
It's poetic. It's like they rhyme.
It's like they rhyme. They do rhyme. That's a George Lucasism.
Right, I hate this so much. I hate this so much. I would love to have somebody who was frozen in time right after seeing Jurassic Park in '93, have them wake up and show them this and be like, this is what happened. They're like, what happened to that wonderful movie I saw?
Because they'd go into like that, wearing a Jurassic Park shirt from 1993, singing that. Oh God. And then they just leave, like, have their whole soul crushed.
Well, I love too that all of the like important story arcs are just wrapped up in 10 seconds, like at the end of the movie. Like, when like you didn't write any logical ending.
They didn't have an ending.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, like, Grant's kind of like, hey, I'm not going to go to my next dig. I'm just going to come with you, Ellie, and, like, let's have sex. And she goes, yay, Grant! And then, like, like, plane riding lady's like, I'm not going to be an asshole anymore. I'm going to ride planes for good.
And she gets her new plane from the CIA because that's what they do.
Yeah, here's your new CIA plane lady. And she goes, ha, bah, like Howard Dean, And Jeff Goldblum's like, and then that's his arc, and and then
yes, I am the savior of the movie.
And I think like Chris Pratt's like, we're gonna let you go outside and go to the mall more and shit, and the daughter's like, cool, and that's like, all right, well, that's the whole fucking,
And you forgot Blue gets her baby back.
Oh my god, okay, Brian, I have to tell you a story. I almost got kicked out of the movie.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
When they drop off the kids and fucking Blue's like, and like fucking licking it like it's a dog bomb. I missed you, fuck. And they go running off, and Chris Pratt's like, I'm a good dude. And then fucking Blue comes back, goes, and he turns around and kind of gives him that like head nod, like, thanks, bro. I was laughing so hard. There was a combination in the theater of people laughing because I was laughing because they realized it was okay to laugh because I was laughing, people mad at me that I was laughing, and people that were confused that I was laughing. That was the four camps of situation, and people were like starting to get very frustrated with me because I could not control my laughter. I was hysterically laughing because I'm like, this is some of the most pathetic, piss awful shit excuse of filmmaking I've ever seen in my life.
Did you see this at Row House?
Oh God, no. We wouldn't. We don't get first run, especially not crap like this. I saw.
I was gonna say you wouldn't have gotten kicked out at Row House. You would have. You would have been like, oh well, yeah. John's laughing. Let him laugh.
I saw it at a Cinemark
for telling him to shut up.
I saw it at a corporate Cinemark. They would have kicked me out just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. They would have, and then they would have been like, please don't tell my boss, sir, that we kicked you out.
Oh, to tell the manager.
Yeah. That reminds me. You and I got to go see a movie together one time because I got to see this in action. I got to see the John movie going experience. We've seen a couple together. I think the last one we saw was Avengers Endgame, but we got to see one where it's really bad. And I know it's bad because I got to see this in action. But that's hilarious. I don't think I've ever been kicked out of a movie theater before.
I didn't want to ruin it for anybody, but I couldn't stop laughing. It wasn't organic. Like, I had no choice.
No,
it's
just fucking stupid.
Hysterically laughing at the dinosaur being like, Thanks, brah.
Yeah, no, it was a stupid ass ending to a stupid ass trilogy that did not need to exist. It didn't need to exist. No one was really saying, you know what we really need is another Jurassic Park series of movies.
Well, you know who did say, though, that they needed that? The box office receipts.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately,
This
all
thing made
three of these movies,
748 million so far.
which that's like COVID money. Like, I think if you adjust for non-pandemic.
Its budget was 185 million. So they might be saying they're not making any more of these things, but
I'm saying in the non-pandemic times, this thing probably would have already cracked $1 billion.
oh yeah,
Worldwide.
that's the thing. We still are dealing with pandemic box office. So yeah. Now what is interesting is I think that Top Gun pretty much knocked this thing down a peg. Which whatever.
Yeah,
I really don't care to see Top Gun either. I don't really care to see that either, but I think that was something that probably might have hindered it, was that people were going to see Top Gun and not this. And I just think also people are done with Jurassic World.
I mean,
They're
are
just
they,
done.
though, Brian? They made $750 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, but like, I don't want to say where do you go from here, but where the fuck do you really go from here? The allure is gone. Like the allure of dinosaurs on screen, that's been gone for a long time. And you could say that they managed to make it okay with Jurassic World, the first one, but all they've done is just basically, as I said, they've taken a carcass of a great movie and rehash it to the point of basically, grade Z sausage. And I don't know what else you do.
I know.
Ham in the series.
Either streaming services or they do dinosaurs that have like human intelligence. Like, we finally cloned a dinosaur that has the intellect of man.
So it becomes Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Why not? Who gives a shit? It'll still make $1 billion.
No, you know where they go here. This is what they do. And this is the classic trend of franchises is that they will make them and then decide to cross over with other franchises. This is the Alien versus Predator. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, if you will. That's kind of what happens. You get these mashups of different universes.
Jay and Silent Bob go to Jurassic Park.
Well, I was thinking more or less the lines of Fast and the Furious in Jurassic World.
Yeah. Well, we ride cheetah speed to get away from the velociraptors.
Oh no, the velociraptors are going to be in the car driving it with sunglasses on.
Yeah, go with their little arms so that Vin Diesel can shoot a sawed off out the window. I'm excited about this, actually.
Blue will be behind the wheel, have sunglasses on, tip the sunglasses down all 80s style, look over at Vin Diesel, and give a and then boom. Jumping off the building.
It'd be like, Blue, your family. I have a Corona.
And Blue will knock back a Corona. No, Blue will be like,
What? Oh, I speak Velociraptor. What's that? You don't want a Corona? You want a Jimmy Buffett margarita? Okay. There's only two things we can have in this family: Coronas or Jimmy Buffett margaritas.
Oh my god!
I kind of love this movie.
I kind of
actually.
like this movie. I kind of need to see this movie happen. Yeah. I hate this movie.
I fucking hate. I hate
really
that
fucking
this movie exists. Because I didn't expect it to be good. I expected it to be bad. I didn't expect it to be this bad, but I expected it to be bad.
I expected it to be.
I hate.
I mean, it got as bad as I imagined it would. Because again, like the last one. Oh.
But I think I more that I just hate that this movie actually exists. That's more of the problem I have.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, before we kind of wrap things up, I find it hilarious that and this goes back to Star Wars. Now, if you know Star Wars fans, like I know Star Wars fans, a lot of Star Wars fans go and say, oh, Colin Trevorrow is an amazing director. Look at what he could have done with Rise of Skywalker. Okay. Look what he did with Jurassic World. And you tell me he's good. Okay?
Yeah, you flaming dick shit. Yeah.
No, but seriously, there are no joke people out there who like bust a nut over Colin Trevorrow. They do entire YouTube videos devoted to him and his version of Rise of Skywalker. Now, I've seen it. It's not as bad as what we got, but it's not great either. Like, I'm sorry. It's like trying to polish a turd. You can't polish a turd. And that's what the sequel trilogy became, was a turd.
Yeah, making chicken salad out of chicken shit. You know?
Can't. It can't. But it's just hilarious to see that people are like, oh my God, Colin Trevorrow, he should have got his cut. He should have never been fired. It's like, no. He's not great either.
Yeah, guys, like, these movies, they hire these like indie darlings not because they want a new vision, but because they know they can control them, like,
because they don't know
animals. Yeah. And no, there's never going to be, it doesn't matter who the director is. The studio for these multi-billion-dollar properties are always going to have final say and final control, and all of their ideas suck. They're idiots. But yet this movie makes $1 billion. And all I can do is say is, oh, they're going to make they're going to make a streaming service or Fast and the Furious versus Jurassic Park, which I'm kind of excited for.
I mean, you get my money if you do that. You got my money if you do that. Oh, well, this was kind of like therapy.
Yeah. Oh, I needed. Brian, even if you told me you didn't hit record, I would have been like, fuck, I don't care. I feel better.
Well, I'm glad you feel better. So, John, where can they find you at on the internets?
You can find me at Universal Studios _ Jurassic World Dominion. Oh shit, no, I'm sorry. I'm on the payroll. You can find me at on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, basically just kind of under my name, if you know how to spell it. If you don't, check out the website. And while you're there, check out some of our older episodes. And you can also find me at JDubs, that's DUB_S, just the letter J, Video Nasties. Check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe. It helps out quite a bit. I'm sure that there's hopefully something there for you. And
you got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of stuff coming out. I'm actively rewatching The Mask and You Only Live Twice, the James Bond movie tonight, in preparation for 2 episodes that I have coming up. So
now, are you talking about like the Mask, like the Jim Carrey mask?
Jim Carrey,
because there's another one.
With Eric Stoltz and Cher.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jim Carrey one.
Okay, good.
I got so many questions about The Mask. I'm just saying.
Awesome. You also have a movie that came out that you worked on, right?
Yeah. Cyst. It's a very fun comedy horror throwback 60s kind of Roger Corman-esque horror movie from back in the day. It's kind of got that feel to it, that vibe to it. It's got George Hardy from Troll 2. It's got I'm blanking now. Greg Sestero. Yeah, from The Room. It's got Ava Haberman's in it. Yeah, we got a couple of like big names in there. We got Jason Douglas from Walking Dead.
I love the fact that he just now shared our episode.
He's probably just going through.
I don't care. I loved it. It was a great little treat to see that he shared it and like his fans liked it. I'm like, yay!
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty neat. It's very entertaining. It's nice, like popcorn entertainment. So yeah, definitely check out Cyst if you can. You can get it online, rent it online. So check that out.
Show notes. I'll push it in the show notes.
Sweet.
And maybe we'll get a review of it. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
We know a guy. We know a guy. You can find me at Brian Coddington. I also run the Psycho Show page. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Psycho Show. You can also find us on the Epicast Network at epicastnetwork.com. If you have a favorite movie or quest you want to throw our way, or maybe you really love Jurassic World Dominion, and we've offended you. And we've offended you with this review, which, to that credit, sorry, not sorry. Sorry. But if you want to, you can contact us and let us know how terrible we are, and that's cool. At cinemapsychoshow.com. Be sure to subscribe or follow us wherever you listen to audio, and we will see you next time.
This fucking film.